Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Marilyn, and I'm very excited today because I'm going to do a very creative tag, the fictional self-help tag. But before I begin, I just wanted to thank everyone who is wishing me good health. I'm walking around the house without my cane now, so hopefully whatever was wrong with my leg, overuse probably, and mixed with arthritis, is healing very slowly, but I really think I did a number on my leg. Anyway, this fictional self-help tag was created by Alan at Alan Reads, and I was tagged by Pat at Book Chat with Pats. Thank you, Pat, for tagging me in this wonderfully creative tag. And I really wanted to do this tag because I've never seen anything like it on booktube, and also it was quite challenging to find the answers to this tag, and I like that. I like challenges. So the self-help or self-improvement market, Alan says, was estimated to be worth $45.7 billion in 2024. This includes self-help books of a variety of types. And I was, not so much now, a big nonfiction and a big self-help reader at one time. But what if there were no self-help books, only fiction? And it seems like there might have been a time. Who would you choose to help you on your self-improvement journey? Pick a fictional character as an answer to each of the prompts below to help you, or as an alternative, which I didn't do. Pick a fictional character who's the last person you'd ask for help for that prompt. Okay, so the first prompt is learning a foreign language. Who would you choose to help you learn a new language or brush up on one you already speak but not very well? First, I thought I should brush up on Spanish because I was brought up hearing Spanish, if not actually learning Spanish. And I have two fictional characters for this prompt, but I'll talk about the other one in another prompt. Of course I would choose, and let me just tell you that I am picking mysteries for these prompts because it's March Mystery Madness, and mysteries have always helped me solve problems in my life, even if it's just being able to chill. And I'm doing that right now with a touch of Frost. This is my favorite so far of the R.D. Wingfield books. I've read two. So it's I think there's four that were written by him, but he's making me laugh. He's making me laugh, and that's good. But who would teach me a foreign language? Hercule Poirot, of course, because he spoke, the fictional character Hercule Poirot spoke French, German, and of course English. So he would be the perfect person to teach me a foreign language. And I want to learn more French, or any French. Every time I start to study French, and if I stop, I forget everything. So, which is not true of Spanish, because I think since I was brought up around Spanish, it still stays somewhat in my memory. So two books I recommend in the Agatha Christie Hercule Poirot series are Five Little Pigs and Sad Cypress. And I'll just talk about Sad Cypress. Let me just show you the books, if you can see them like that. To me, they're mirror images. I don't know, no, this won't work. So Sad Cypress was a very unusual book. Cousins by marriage and lovers by inclination, Roddy and Eleanor were the ideal match. He loathed any display of emotion, while she was composed at all times. Then they got an anonymous letter warning that their rich Aunt Laura was thinking of cutting them off, and their perfect world vanished. Roddy did the unthinkable. He fell in love, but not with her. So of course, Hercule Poirot is hired to uncover the truth. And so I choose the fictional character, Hercule Poirot, to teach me how to speak French. So that's my answer to this prompt. Now, the second prompt is, and I had to think of this because there were a lot of answers to this one. Life is uncertain at the moment. Who would you choose to help you prepare for future eventualities? Who would teach you the survival skills you'll need? I thought first of P.D. James, Adam Dalgliesh, who was a poet and an intensely cerebral and private person. I'm somewhat cerebral, but not private. But he wrote poetry, and I write poetry, or I attempted to write poetry. So I thought that poetry always gave me the survival skills. It's sort of like writing a memoir, because poetry is nonfiction. But then I thought I had talked about this author, or this fictional character, by Faye Kellerman, The Garden of Eden and Other Criminal Delights. Now, in this short story collection, there are two short, brand new, that were never published before, short stories. The Garden of Eden and Open House feature the famous sleuthing duo Peter Decker and Rita Lazarus. So I'm going to pick Rena. Is her name Rena? I just want to make sure. Rena Lazarus. I pick her because now Rena Lazarus, the fictional character, is a psychologist, and she helps Peter Decker, the detective, read insights into the mind of the criminals and the victims. So I felt that, and she's Jewish, as I am, and so she uses that Judaism also to work things out. And I think that a psychologist is a person, especially who's religious. A religious psychologist would be the perfect person who would help me prepare for future eventualities. So I had when I talked about this book in my last video, I had some people who loved Faye Kellerman, who wrote so many books, and I found out she wrote more books than I thought she wrote. So I pick Rena Lazarus, who is Faye Kellerman's Faye Kellerman's imagination. Okay, 3. Everyone should be able to cook at least one outstanding meal. Who would you choose to help you plan and prepare that meal? Now, my first thought was nonfiction, because I love cookbooks so much. And I thought of Stanley Tucci. I thought of so many other cookbook authors that I have. But I had a hard time because Pat, the only book that I remember reading that was a fictional book was a book she mentioned, which was Heartburn by Nora Ephron. So I'm not going to say the same one, but after looking on my shelves, I chose this book, Nilda. Nilda is a young Puerto Rican girl coming of age during World War II in New York. And it's a wonderful book, and I recommend it highly. And there's a lot of Puerto Rican food mentioned in this book. And her mother was a wonderful cook who was able to use, being low income, having to cook delicious meals, not having too much money. And lest you think this is not a mystery, there is a mystery at the center of this book that, of course, I'm not going to tell you. And I think this book and the author, Nicolas Amor, is not read enough, and she wrote many books. She's still alive, and I recommend Nilda. My friend Lindy read it, and she gave it 5 stars. So I really recommend Nilda for if you want to know about a little bit about Puerto Rican food, which I was raised on, and I still crave to this day. Yeah, that's my answer to that question. Okay, so next question. 4. Life is tough and unpredictable, and you should be able to defend yourself. Who would you choose to teach you some basic self-defense? Now, I'm a wuss. I don't know anything about self-defense. I never had to defend myself. Well, I shouldn't say that I never had to defend myself, but I was able to use my brains to get out of bad situations. But of course, I thought of first a book that I talked about, which was X. I talked about it by Sue Grafton. She went up to Y, and I found out that I have to read X before I read Y. Well, that makes sense, right? Because Sue Grafton her Kinsey Milhone, the detective that Sue Grafton wrote about as her major detective, wasn't really, until Y, she wasn't really that, she ran 3 miles a day, she was fit, but in Y is for yesterday, which I can't read yet because I'm still working on X, but I do have a copy of the picture on my Kindle. And Y is for yesterday is when she decides, because of the book X, that she is going to take a self-defense classes because of a painful tangle with the bad person in X. So, but then I thought, there's another female detective that I used to read. I don't have a copy of a book by her, but I'll try to find her first book. Let me just tell you who the person is. Her name, the author is Sarah Paretsky, and her detective is V.I. Warshawski. And I first read a V.I. Warshawski, I hope I'm saying it right, in the late 80s. And I was instantly drawn to how tough she was. Now, she's described as hot-tempered, sarcastic, and fiercely self-reliant. And she's skilled at karate and carries a gun with confidence. But she also has a soft side. Now, her first book, that won an award, in fact, is called Indemnity Only, and I'll have it here. And she tackles the problem of a missing student, a death which was far from accidental. So let me know below if you've read Sarah Paretsky's book. Now, I want to make sure I'm saying, Paretsky's book. And these are like late 80s, early 90s books. And I know I have subscribers that love this timeline in mysteries. But I would like her to teach me a little karate chops. So that's my answer to that question. Now, the next prompt, number 5. And this is a great one. Life can be chaotic at times. Who would you like to teach you mindfulness or relaxation? I want the fictional hero of the book, the fictional character, David Small, of the rabbi slept late, it's the rabbi books. So who is he? Okay, David Small is the unconventional leader of the conservative Jewish congregation in the fictional suburban Massachusetts town of Barnard's Crossing. As the protagonist of a series of novels, Rabbi Small has wisdom and unerring sense of Jewish tradition, which can at some times put him at odds with the Jewish community when he believes that they are seriously deviating from Judaism. And all the good qualities of a detective, sharpened, and this is the part I love, by his Talmudic training, which enables him to see the third side of a problem. So in the book, I had all of the books, but they were really, the old kind, and I'm going to get a new publications of these books in a newer covers. They were really getting old and they were heavy. So his first book, which won the Edgar Award, is, I'll have it here, The Friday the Rabbi Slept Late. So David Small is the new rabbi in the small Massachusetts town of Barnard's Crossing. Although he'd rather spend his days engaged in Torah study and theological debate, the daily chores of synagogue life are all-consuming. That is, until the day a nanny's body is found on the rain-soaked asphalt of the temple's parking lot. I remember loving this book a lot, and I think I'm having a lot of Jewish answers to this, but there's another book, and that's a free choice. What else would you like to learn to do, and which fictional character is going to teach you how? Now, I said to myself, age gracefully, stop falling, or stop overdoing it, and send love to people. Now, where did I get that send love to people? Well, it's a book that I recently talked about that didn't get 5 stars, but I loved the character. And it's the book The Night in Question by Susan Fletcher. It's a library book, and I have to take it back to the library. But the main character is Florrie Butterfield, 87, one-legged and of cheerful disposition. And she's in a wheelchair. And something she does that I thought it was a little unbelievable that she was able to do as much as she was able to do at 87 while living in a facility, was to send love to people in her mind and send them good wishes and love. And she believed that those packages of love that she sent to people would really, she believed that would help them, and they would be able to experience that love that she was sending. And I thought that was a beautiful sentiment, very beautiful sentiment. So I want to be like Florrie Butterfield if I make it to 87 or more, hopefully, but at least 87. I would love to be, and plus she's cheerful. She's positive in a way that I'm not. And we all have different personalities, different characters, and even though we want to be a certain way, sometimes we can't. Now, not to make this too long, the last prompt was to let's all learn together. Tag some fellow booktubers to take part. Now, I'm new to Alan at Alan Reads, so I'm definitely going to subscribe to his channel. And in the description, I'm going to have people that I have to check who's done this tag. I think it's a pretty new tag, about a week. And today is St. Patrick's Day. It's not Tag Tuesday, but when you get this, it will be Tag Tuesday. But I want to wish everyone, I hope you had a wonderful St. Patrick's Day. My son was born on St. Patrick's Day, and he's 52 years old. And I always think of him today, and I will try to call him. It's a little tricky why I can't see him, but he's always in my mind on St. Patrick's Day. I'm not wearing anything green, so I should be pinched, but you'll get this tomorrow. So thank you so much for watching my videos and to stay with me during the happy times and the more difficult times. I can't tell you how I appreciate it. And thank you, Pat, for tagging me. And if you want to do this tag and I don't tag you, please do it, because I think it's really, especially if you read a lot of fiction, you will get a lot out of it. And it made me think how mysteries, yeah, everybody who's doing March Mystery Madness, who's host, you're all tagged as well, of course. And I'm not doing it this year, but actually I am more of a, I said I was a cheerleader, but actually I was able to do more of participating in March Mystery Madness than I thought I would. So I'm going to tag a whole bunch of people. And thank you so much for watching. And until my next video, I wish you love and aloha.